All right. So today went well, I feel like. In the show, sorry, I'm gonna move your stuff. In the show, we had to cut a bunch of stuff, and so I'm sorry for anything that got cut. But coming out of a morning meeting that was kind of underwhelming, I felt at least happy that we had enough content to put a whole show together because I was a little worried. But I think that everybody, for the most part, I think almost every single person in here went out this weekend and shot stuff, which was really good because then you have good B-roll to rely on for like a pre-tease open and for your stories instead of just being like, I got him in his office. And huge shout out to Charlotte. Friday, I think it was like 1 p.m., we realized that we were going to have to change who the sports anchor was. And so Charlotte took it over. The other thing, it was just like little things like always shoot a reversal and B-roll of them wherever they are and an over the shoulder, because there were a couple of packages where you would start talking about somebody but you would linger on the last shot and it was really obvious it was because you didn't have any footage of them. And I really liked that we got the breaking news. Thank you so much, Rebecca and Kendall, for writing that. And then also Kimmy and Sierra for taking control of that situation and writing the copy down in there. That's why we have the computer there. And I thought that was important because that meant that you knew the story and that you knew what you were going to say instead of being confused. So I think that's my major notes. That was pretty much it. All right, so I guess the first package we're going to talk about is Brian's package. And he's not here because he's at his live shot. And so Brian was given this story this morning, which was the execution of the woman in Georgia. And I don't know what he pitched this morning, but we threw this at him, and we had no sources for him. So he put together a good package, I think, based off of that. The only criticisms that I had while I was watching it were once you record a package, go back and listen to yourself in Audacity, because you may think you sound one way, but when it comes out to the objective viewer, it might sound kind of monotone, or it might sound like you're very quiet or like you're very loud, that kind of stuff. And sure, like I said earlier, shoot a reversal, B-roll, and over the shoulder, because if you don't have video for somebody and you're talking about them before you go to their shot, then you're lingering on whatever shot you were just talking about, and then the viewer is going to have a disconnect between what they're hearing and what they're seeing. The other thing that I wanted to add was that we talked this morning about how a lot of news organizations have been showing this woman's mugshot and not the shot that the people protesting for her to live have been using, which is her graduating. And we did use that shot, which I was glad that we did, because I think we're working really hard in here about not being biased. But we also used it at an inappropriate time when we talked about her execution. We showed her smiling and graduating, which was inappropriate. But other than that, but in the package, I'm glad that we did use it. When you are filming, don't move your camera. So you know how they always say, like, hold it for 10 seconds? Yeah, I feel like that's a rule for B-roll, but it's also a rule for when you're interviewing somebody. And I know that's happened to me before. Like, I understand. I've been in that situation where I get back and I'm like, dang it, if I hadn't moved it, I could have used this. But then you're like, okay, can't use it because it's really distracting for the viewer. Got to pick another shot. The viewer's never going to know that they could have heard this excellent shot. Just pick another one.